What is up, YouTube? HPJ here, and it is time for a Harpie deck profile for the month of October 2025. Yes, guys, it is time for a Harpie deck profile. I know many of you have been very, very excited about this, but sadly, there's simply just no really big Harpie support cards right now. And while the outcry is very, very much been said, it's needed. Um, well, did the most recent set give us anything? Not anything directly, but it did give us at least one new card to try to play around with. And I've been seeing this card, and I actually haven't really had a chance to talk about it either. So I guess I get the chance to talk about it in today's video because I will be using it in the deck um, for modern format. Is the card gonna bring Harpies back into the meta? No. Just gonna say that now. Harpie's never been meta. Remember, the meta players don't care about Harpie. So, casual fans, if you want a casual variation of Harpie that actually has some function, here you go. This is a deck profile for you. But for the most part, yeah, don't expect Harpie to be meta anytime soon, even if we got some new support. But that's for a video I've already made. So with that said, well, we go ahead and we talk about what's going up in this video. And I'm going to start off with my monster lineup. And that is simply 3 copies of Harpie Perfumer, then 3 copies of Harpie Channeler. That is followed up by 3 copies of Harpie Lady 1. Then I'm playing 2 copies of Harpie's Pet Dragon, Fierce on Fire, 2 copies of Harpie Harpist, 1 Queen, 1 Oracle, and then 2 copies of the new card, Silk Bomb Moth, who will be joining the fray, and then 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs. So that's literally it for my monsters. We're going to go ahead and go into the spells. My spells consist of 3 copies of Hysteric Sign, 3 copies of Elegant Egotist, 2 Hunting Ground, 2 Summoner's Storms, an Alluring Mirror Split, and a Harpie's Feather Rest. Actually, it was supposed to be this way around, but yeah, but who's counting? Alright, and then that's it for the spells. And then we're going to go ahead into the traps with triple Imperm, triple Storm, and double Party. And that's literally it for the spells and traps. That is a total of 40 cards in the main deck. And then going into the extra are simply 2 copies of Cyber Slash Harpie Lady, 1 Harpie Conductor, 1 Winnie the Wind Charmer Verdant, 1 SP Little Knight, 1 IP Masquerena, 1 Nightmare Unicorn, 1 Access Code Talker. Wait, actually, it's like 6 cards here. You know what? That's my fault. It's fine. We'll do this, bam. Okay, and then 1 Harpie Set Phantasmal Dragon, 1 Lightning Chidori, 1 Ice Beast Zero Fine, Mecha Phantom Beast Draco Sack, Ray Raptor Arsenal Falcon, Double Azu Sky Thunder, and 1 Sky Slayer, 1 Super Star Slayer Typhoon. So, that is it for everything in my extra deck. So, going over everything just in consistency with the deck itself. I'll start off with the extra deck because it's probably the easiest to go through. The 2 copies of Cyber Slash Harpie Lady, as of course she's one of the most viable Harpies for the extra deck. When on, she's Harpie Lady while she's on the field in the graveyard. When a card would activate its effect, you can return 1 Harpie Lady. You can return 1 Harpie monster or 1 monster your opponent controls back into the hand. So there's a bit of disruption within that, but no negation. Simply can easily be made by just using 2 Harpie monsters, and 1 of them will be counted as the tuner, so it's really easy to drop her onto the field. And I was considering running 3, but limitations and stuff there. Harpie Conductor is not bad as an addition to this deck, but I only play 1 because simply she's just here for protection, if anything. She doesn't really offer much outside of that. It's a really good, the best defense is the best offense is a great defense situation, and she does that. I was running Harpie Dancer, but running the Silk Bomber, well, the Silk Bomb is kind of just like ultimately panned out for why she's not in the deck, but she does work well with Harpie Conductor, and even Cyber Slash works really well if you're combining abilities and stuff like that. Winnie is here because you can steal your opponent's Phalos, if it's in the graveyard, or the Droll and Lockbird, and Link Climb. SP Little Knight for the banish, IP Masquerena for the quick link summons on your opponent's turn. Unicorn is one of the main targets for that IP Masquerena to bounce something back. Access Code Talker for a game finisher. Phantasmal Dragon for the direct attack. Lightning Chidori for removal of set cards and face-up cards on the field. Zero Fine to negate cards on the field and become a big buffed winged beast to swing at your opponent. Dracossack for the tokens, so you can use them to link into cards. Red Raptor Optional Falcon to get other winged beasts from the deck, primarily mostly your Harpies. Both Divine Arsenal and Typhoon are here just to play against your opponent in their high attack monsters. So one's board wipe and one is just executing monsters. So yeah, that is pretty much it for the extra deck. And then going into the main deck, I mean, it's pretty standard stuff there from what I normally play. Harpie Perfumer is here to search for your spells and traps to specifically list Harpie Lady Sisters in this text on her normal or her special summon. If you control level 5 or higher Harpie, you can add an additional card, which of course can be played out with stuff like Harpie Channeler, who, as many of you know, discard a Harpie card from your hand to then add special summon one Harpie monster from your deck in defense position. If you control a dragon, her level will become 7. So that allows you for your exceed plays for your rank 7s, and then even more so add to the additional abilities of both Perfumer and Harpie Oracle. Harpie Lady 1 is going to be my target for Elegant Egotist to basically flesh out the deck, as she is technically the only Harpie Lady in the deck that is always Harpie Lady. She will give all wind monsters an additional 300 attacks, so if you want to swarm in, that's where Harpie Lady 1 comes in. Harpie's Pet Dragon for some fire, of course, the biggest upgrade to the Harpie's Pet Dragon line, where you can summon this monster, you control a level 6 or lower Harpie monster. No, a level 6 or lower wind monster. And then it's protection for your Harpie monsters from being attacked. When it's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can send a winged beast from your deck to the graveyard, which of course combos well with Harpie Harpist, who during the end phase of the turn in which she was sent to the graveyard, is in the graveyard because she was sent there that turn. You can add one level 4 winged beast monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck to your hand, so you can go get Perfumer and Channeler as a good option, even Oracle as well. And that's thanks to the fact that you can combine her ability with the discard off of Channeler, or the send to the graveyard ability with Harpie's Pet Dragon for some fire. Then from there is Harpie Queen, who just simply searches for my field spell. Harpie Oracle, who she can get all of your spells and traps to specifically list Harpie Lady Sisters in the section from your graveyard and add them back into your hand during the end phase of the turn in which she was summoned. And then she can also be special summoned while you control a level 5 or higher Harpie monster, so that combines well with the Dragon and helps with the link climbs, exceeds, and stuff like that. And then we have the Silk Bomb Moth. So this monster is actually new to the card game. I believe it's a TCG exclusive, actually, from the most recent set, Dode. So, Doom of Dimensions, just for those to be clarified. And what it does is that if you have 2 or more wind monsters in your graveyard, and this card is in your hand, you can special summon this card. And if you do, you can shuffle 1 wind monster in your graveyard into the deck. And then when this card is normal or special summon, you can reveal the top card of your opponent's deck and then apply any of its effects, depending on the card's type. If it's a monster, you can place it into your opponent's spell and trap card zone face up as a continuous spell. And if it's a spell or trap, you can banish it. You're going to use each effect of this monster once per turn. I could have ran Harpie Lady Sisters in combination with this and probably to do some like rank 6s as well. Because I'm really looking at some of the rank 6 pull, which doesn't seem too bad. And because you'll have access to it thanks to Silk Bomb Moth, why not? I know there's 4 Focus and Photon Strike Bouncer. There are some good ideas. I'm sure many of you in the comment section would probably leave me some more rank 6s to look at as well, because this is not a bad card. It's a retriever. You can special summon, and then it can mess with your opponent's cards. Whether it's a spell or trap, you can banish it, or if it's a monster effect, you can it's a monster, you can put it in the spell and trap card zone. Just as long as it has no abilities that say when the card leaves the field, you know, it can do certain actions, you should be perfectly fine. Outside of that, the only other card left is Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. And that's simply because I'm using her to help, you know, with the hand traps. There are variations of hand traps. You can even run follows if you like to, just to keep consistency, because, well, draw power is a thing. So, alright, that is it for the monsters. We're going to now go into the spells and traps. So, for this, of course, Hysteric Sign allows you to add Elegant Egoist from your deck or graveyard to your hand. And of course, when this card is sent from hand or field to the graveyard, you can then add up to 3 Harpie cards with different names from your deck to your hand. The crazy thing is that, yeah, both effects are a once per turn and only once that turn. So if you get the Elegant Egoist, you'll have to wait till the next turn or during your opponent's turn to blow this card up or send this card from the field to grave, fill their hand to the grave, to then be able to add the 3 of cards to your hand. It's still one of Harpie's most predominant useful spells in the game, and still gets the highest praise. And it's crazy though, because a lot of cards after Sign came out do what Sign does, but just a lot better. Elegant Egoist to special summon Harpie Lady from the deck or hand to the field. I was running Sisters as well as just a prominent art. This is basically a spell card that will give you a massive summon of Harpie Lady. And because every other monster in the deck that is will treat itself as Harpie Lady, it just helps out with a lot of combos and stuff as well. Harpie's Hunting Ground, just as an additional spell to play around with. I can easily drop this to 1 and play the Harpie Lady Sisters for the consistency of just having Sisters in the deck. But if you want the back row and you want to pop things, go right ahead. And this actually combos well with Silk Bomber, the Silk Bomb, because you can put the monster into the trap card zone and just play the Harpie Lady and then bam, pop the card. Harpie's Feather Rest to, of course, pot average some of our Harpies back into the deck and then shuffle to draw. If you can draw level 5 or higher Harpies, you can draw 2 instead of 1. You are win locked once you've activated this card's effect, but that should be fine. Majority of your combos should be win, and even in just plan out everything before then, because one of my favorite combos is to make an IP and then go for this and then play the other win cards, and then on my opponent's turn, go into stuff like Unicorn and just bounce things away. The one Alluring Mirror Split as another target to pop things with under the Hunting Ground, and you can bring a Harpie monster from your graveyard back onto the field. The rare occasion is if they're destroyed by battle, and then you can just summon a Harpie monster to the field from your deck with a different original name. And then Summon Storm just to help get out some more special summons. Next up are the traps. It was really simple. Imperm to basically be the trap variation of Effect Veiler. And easily drop this card from your hand during your opponent's turn while you control no cards. Really good negation of effect. Another negation, of course, is Harpie's Featherstorm, the most hated Harpie card right now in the game, because almost every other deck that isn't Harpie tries to fit in Castell, the Sky Blasting Musketeer, and use this card. Really looking at you, Raziel. And well, this card still has not got hit off on the Forbidden Limited list, which is kind of a good and a bad thing for most decks. I want to do a video on Harpie's Featherstorm as well, just to talk about its longevity in the game and how it actually become one of the biggest hindrance for Harpies moving forward. But like I said, I'll have that for another video. And the only other card left to talk about is Hysteric Party, which is basically a massive summon for our Harpie monsters to bring them onto the field to do a massive swarm. So you can do synchro summons, your exceeds, your link summons, all of that thanks to Hysteric Party. And I bumped the card up from 1 to 2 just because I wanted to see some to see the card, but also the card can be a hindrance itself, because if you don't have enough Harpies in the grave and then you activate this, it's going to be a thing. And then plus your opponent can just blow it up too, and then you'll lose your monsters. But that's why I run 2, so that way I don't have to deal with that. Alright, so with that said and done, that's pretty much it for this deck profile. It's probably one of the shortest that I've done for a Harpie deck, but hey, it is still a very consistent one at that. And if not consistent, it builds itself for anything. And if not, well, use it as a skeleton and make your own Harpie deck. That's the best thing I can tell you. Alright, with that said and done, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out tremendously. You can hit the notification bell to be informed of when I upload more content to the channel. Socials are in the description box below. And with that said and done, thank you guys so much for watching. HPJ signing out. Take care. Bye-bye.